I remember like it was just yesterday when I booted up my computer and saw this here trailer. I heard these lines.
Hell, it's about time.
It's hard to believe that this was 16 years ago, and yet here we are. StarCraft 2's popularity waning. The esports scene that has been so invested into StarCraft and StarCraft 2 dwindling. The Koreans who have traditionally dominated the game may have retired, and a lot of them have switched to other games such as League of Legends. I think the rise of European players is good, but the contest to be the best in StarCraft 2 just lost a bit of that magic. It's a little boring. I mean, sure, players like Cyril and Reyna play amazing games, but StarCraft 2 is really not at its prime of esports competition at its current state. And just a month after celebrating the 10th anniversary of StarCraft 2's launch in 2020, which is a significant milestone, Blizzard announced the end of new content for the game. The game was to be put on life support, essentially. Sure, patches would still be put out, but basically the game is as good as dead when it comes to attracting new players. It was all up to the community and esports now to keep this game alive. And as I said, that's also not doing that great, at least not what it once was. While the announcement of the end of new content may seem like a bad thing, but many speculated that this could mean the Team Blizzard is putting more resources into a sequel, a StarCraft 3. Because of course Blizzard is working on a StarCraft 3, right? It's the biggest esports strategy game, RTS, because that's probably now moved on to League of Legends. But it is rather weird if you wanted to put more into a sequel and then dissolving the StarCraft 2 dev team. Seems counterintuitive. But they are a corporation, and corporations have done weirder things like firing people only to rehire them a month down the road. So as much as this news seems all doom and gloom, I don't think this puts any nails on any coffin. I mean, more specifically the StarCraft 3 coffin. Even though the argument could be made that StarCraft isn't the most profitable franchise for Blizzard, even though they could be making gangbusters selling stuff for Diablo 4, it's still a much beloved IP and it still did well, just not as well as their recent endeavors. I do think that with Microsoft acquiring them and Microsoft's track record reviving their own classic RTS, Age of Empires, I think there will be a bit more impetus or motivation for Blizzard to revive StarCraft. There have been rumors that I really can't say has much weight, but rumors nevertheless of some journalists earlier in 2023 claiming that StarCraft 3 is indeed in the works. There were rumors, or rather more like hopes, of a StarCraft 3 announcement at BlizzCon 2023 last year. That didn't happen. So even if there is a StarCraft 3 in the works, what will it even be? StarCraft 2 stuck very close to the formula of the first game, but the leap to 3D was enough to make it feel new, and the whole structure of the single player campaign, which at the time had some really good missions, felt like a pretty big step. Even though it annoyed fans that they had to wait years to get all 3 campaigns. Okay, crystal ball time, what could StarCraft 3 be? I think it will be a free-to-play game, like StarCraft 2 now. The game will be available for free for multiplayer, but different components like campaigns will be paid content. This is probably not the most boldest prediction, but yeah, they would have learned a thing or two from making StarCraft 2 free-to-play. Also, I think Blizzard might not release 3 massive single-player campaigns like they did for StarCraft 2 and make a smaller and tighter story. Even though the campaigns were great for the most part, there were also definitely some missions that felt like padding. And not all missions were actually fun, like escort missions for instance. Why do developers still force us with them? It's still a mystery to me. I'm thinking Blizzard will go for a strategic map in StarCraft 3. Yes, I suppose you could say StarCraft 2 had a strategic layer with your ship flying around and to different planets, but I'm thinking something more grounded, more on a single planet or a few with territories to control. Yes, I guess you could call it Total War StarCraft of sorts. Especially if they add a fourth race, they might want to scale down the scope to deliver a more quality campaign rather than quantity. Yes, a fourth race, I said a fourth race there. This one's a bit of a wild card. I think, yes, there are huge difficulties in probably balancing 4 races in an RTS, but it's not like it hasn't been done before, ergo Age of Empires 4, albeit at some limited level of asymmetry. Yes, I know AoE 4 isn't completely asymmetrical, which means the factions aren't as different from each other compared to StarCraft, which is why I think scaling down single player and adding a fourth faction for a major step up from StarCraft 2 could be in the cards. And yes, I do believe StarCraft needs a bit of a reset when it comes to the story, because StarCraft 2's story, well, it's a bit too cliche and Hollywood level space opera, and not even the good kind. But in the end of the day, it all boils down to multiplayer, and here I think Blizzard will generally stick to the same formula and play close to the previous games. It's not going to drastically change things much, unless of course if there is a fourth faction, where balance will have to be drastically redone. But stuff that the community has been asking for will probably get focused on, things like more stats and data, improved ladder, and more online events, stuff like to keep the community excited about the game and not bickering constantly on balance changes. Oh, who am I kidding? That will always happen regardless. Make no mistake, 2024 is the perfect time to announce StarCraft 3. With the rise of new RTS games slated for release this year and even an offshoot of StarCraft, Stormgate, this would be the perfect time for Blizzard to throw their hat in the ring. And maybe, ironically, an announcement of StarCraft 3 could actually increase the interest in RTS and maybe even give a boost to all those other games. So yes, I do believe if Blizzard has been secretly toiling away at StarCraft 3, this would be the year they announce it. But it might take at least another 2 years at least to be out. So for this year's BlizzCon, we will get more news about the Diablo 4 expansion, World of Warcraft expansions, and yes, the next StarCraft 3. All 3 core Blizzard titles. A perfect way to sort of get back to their roots. Or maybe Blizzard isn't working on StarCraft 3, or worse, it's not a sequel but a StarCraft mobile experience.
Do you guys not have phones? Yeah,
God, I hope not. Anyway, share with me in the comments what you want in StarCraft 3, and maybe even what RTS games are you excited for this year. I might do more RTS game videos in the future. Please do hit the like button and subscribe to this channel to help me out. I'll be making more strategy game videos like these. Thanks for watching, bye!